Owning a home is full of surprises. Some wonderful, some not so much. And when something breaks, it can feel like the whole day unravels. That's why HomeServe exists. For as little as $4.99 a month, you'll always have someone to call. A trusted professional ready to help, bringing peace of mind to 4.5 million homeowners nationwide. For plans starting at just $4.99 a month, go to homeserve.com. That's homeserve.com. Not available everywhere. Most plans range between $4.99 to $11.99 a month your first year. Terms apply on covered repairs.
It's Friday, May 8th, 2026, and this is the Washington Times front page. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. President Trump awaits Iran's response to a U.S. proposal to end the war in Iran and restart negotiations, a potential sign of progress even as the nations traded fire in the region. Von Kockain and Tom Howell report an Iranian foreign ministry spokesperson told state media that authorities were still considering the proposal, the terms of which hadn't been made public, and would relay their response to Pakistani mediators when it's complete. A Pakistani foreign ministry spokesperson said he remained hopeful the U.S. and Iran would strike a deal soon, and that Tehran's consideration of Washington's latest proposal was a good sign. Some reports suggest the proposal could provide for a months-long ceasefire, during which both parties could engage in diplomacy, and the Strait of Hormuz would be open to commercial shipping. The latest short-term extension of a law granting the government crucial surveillance powers has given privacy advocates in Congress a glimmer of hope that they'll finally stop backdoor searches of Americans' communications. The extension, the second in the past month, gives Congress until June 12th to reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which authorizes the surveillance of communications of non-U.S. persons abroad, Lindsay McPherson and Kerry Pickett report. A deal with national security hawks in Congress has proved elusive for nearly 2 decades since the law was added to FISA. Most FISA reformers are pushing for some form of a judicial warrant requirement because they don't trust the executive branch to police itself. President Trump called for a clean 18-month extension of the current law in late March, ahead of the first deadline that Congress punted. Lawmakers have moved toward a 3-year reauthorization with changes, but have had trouble agreeing on appropriate oversight measures. The U.S. Postal Service is nearing completion of a rule that would allow people to ship handguns through the regular mail. Stephen Dinan reports the Postal Service worked with the Justice Department Office of Legal Counsel to deliver its proposed regulation on April 2nd. Gun control advocates complain the proposal would make private sales easier, potentially circumventing background checks. They also worry that more guns in the mail means more chances of firearms being lost or stolen. Second Amendment groups, meanwhile, say the change is overdue, but the Postal Service isn't going far enough by still barring the shipment of ammunition. Officials said the change is a response to a Justice Department opinion this year that the 1927 ban on mailing concealable firearms infringes on gun rights. Iowa, which has been a deep red state for decades, may be on the verge of choosing a Democratic governor and flipping a Republican Senate seat and 2 Republican House seats. Susan Ferricchio reports poll numbers show the party's dominance there could come to an end in November, and Democrats are energized. Iowans have grown increasingly frustrated with tariffs, the war in Iran, and the high cost of living. Iowa has elected a string of Republican governors since 2010, but polls suggest State Auditor Rob Sand is poised to break the Republicans' 16-year winning streak. He's ahead of lesser-known Republican Representative Randy Feenstra by 12 percentage points in the latest Echelon Insights poll. And finally, North Korea has made recent changes to its constitution, including language that indicates reunification with South Korea is no longer a priority. The changes were quietly adopted earlier this year, Andrew Salmon reports. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un announced the change originally in December 2023, but it wasn't included in the constitution until this March. Reunification has been a priority for North Korea since the 2 countries were created in 1948. The North invaded the South in 1950, launching a 3-year war, and the peninsula has remained divided ever since. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also find us on social media at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. The Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.